Hey guys, how are ya? Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Steven. Today is February 2nd, 2024. It's about noon. It's a gorgeous day here in Las Vegas now that it's finally stopped raining. It's been raining for 2 days. It's great. We love it, but it's been a lot. But I'm filming this video today to give my subscribers a tour of my new car, my new baby, so they know why I'm so excited. But I'm also filming this video for somebody else who might be looking for more information about a 2024 Honda HR-V. Now, my history with cars is not vast. I'm not a professional car person. I'm a flight attendant. I know I look like a department store Santa Claus, but I'm a flight attendant. If you're having a heart attack on board, if you're going to give birth to a baby, please don't do that. But I can handle those situations. But buying a car, I had no idea what I was doing. I've owned 4 vehicles. A 1977 Monte Carlo. That was a long time ago. 2004 Ford Freestar minivan, which is not as exciting as it sounds. And I have my Honda HR-V 2021. And now I've got my 2024 Honda HR-V. So I didn't know anything about vehicles, so I went to YouTube. Where else do you go when you have to learn about something? So I watched countless videos about the Honda HR-V 2021. It was a perfect fit for my needs. First off, my garage is very small. It dictated what kind of car I got. My garage is very short. So the Honda HR-V 2021, based on the Honda Fit structure, was a great fit for my garage. And I was very happy with that car. My lease, I'll tell you later on about my leasing experience. My lease was coming up. The dealership was like, hey, what do you want to do? So I watched a whole bunch of videos about the Honda HR-V 2024 so I could walk into the dealership feeling prepared. So I knew what to expect, numbers to expect, features to expect. And I'll tell you, I got more than I expected. This is the Honda, the XL? The base model, whatever that is. I have the base model of the 2024 HR-V, and I am more than happy with it. So I'm going to give you a quick tour of the car and tell you why I'm so pleased with it. I spat over the dashboard here. Why I'm so pleased with the base model. And let's go. Let's take a tour. What a good looking car, right? So I chose the pearl white. There's also a crystal black and something called a Nordic glacial green gray. I don't know. It's like a slate color, green gray, not appealing in my book at all. The white I chose because I think it's going to show dust and small scratches less easily. And also I live in Las Vegas where a white car might get less hot as quickly. So that's one of the reasons I chose the white. The finish is pearlescent, as the name would imply, but it's not super sparkly or glittery. It glows at night or in inclement weather. It's luminous. That's a word I would want to use. But the front of the car is very smart looking. A lot of the YouTubers I listened to said it reminded them of a very expensive car, a Lamborghini. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I know I didn't pay for a Lamborghini, but it does look very smart. All right, the wind is picking up here. In fact, I just watched an aircraft try to land at the airport and then take off again in what's called an aborted landing because the wind is pretty bad here. But let's take a tour of the car. So this is the LX, the base model. The sport model has high gloss black finish in the front here and high gloss rims. Personally, I'm not a fan of high gloss anything because it's just going to get dirty all the quicker. So I'm very happy with the base model. But big change for me is the headlights. The 2021 had halogen headlights, LED running lights, but now I have completely all LED lights on the front there. Really, really effective. And with the auto lights, it just makes them so much better. They're quite bright, but at nighttime when there's no one in front of you, they go to high beams automatically. And if a car comes up or you pull up behind a car, they drop down to regular again so as not to be a jerk, you know, because who wants to be that guy? But 17-inch wheels. The side mirrors, really, really wide. They're quite wide. In fact, I have not needed to put one of those little mirrors on the side here to look for that blind spot. The base model does not have blind spot detection. I think the most expensive trim does, but you know, this mirror is so wide and so accommodating that so far I don't think I have a problem with that. And I've been driving the car for, I don't know, 5 days, if not longer. So, oh yes. So door, the 2001 and 2002 version, I'm sorry, 2021 and 2022 version, you had to kind of reach into this sort of hidden pocket to open up the back door. Instead, now we have a full handle, which is nice and roomy. So if you have jewelry on, you're not going to scratch up the inside of your door handle. Really great. The gas tank. The car is unlocked, so all you have to do is push it. You don't have to go fumbling for a latch. Just drop your nozzle in there. You're good to go. When the car is locked, this is locked, so you don't have to worry about anyone siphoning gas out of your car. I love the lights in the back. I just think it looks very sculptural, very smart. It looks like money. You know, it doesn't look cheap at all. Not that the car is cheap, but it just has a quality look and feel to it. Really, really smart. There are reflectors on the bottom. There's no visible tailpipe, but for some reason everyone's like, oh, this and that. I don't know. It looks very smooth. The sport version has the tailpipe out of the corner here, but I really don't care about the tailpipe. I'm not looking at it. I have a lot of stuff in the back. I'll show you the storage windshield wiper back here, and your third brake light under the spoiler. In the sport version, I think this is black. I think the spoiler is black. The shark fin antenna up there really helps in identifying your car in a parking lot. You'd be surprised how unusual that shape is. But just a really smart looking car, and it's just a joy. Really, really nice. So one of the reasons I chose the HR-V in 2021 is its size. It was based on the Fit body model. This one is based on the Civic. So it's a little bit beefy. It's a little bit larger. It's about 10 inches longer and about 2.5 inches wider. It's a bit of a snug fit in my garage, but it still works. Let's go on the inside, shall we? Let's start with the back because I think it's going to start sprinkling and I don't want to be out here in the rain. Of course, you're just going to grab that, lift up the back. All models of all packages have manual back doors here, so you have to do this no matter which trim package you get. But look at the space. Look at the space. So this is some groceries. This is my very heavy work suitcase, and this is 700 square feet of bubble wrap. All that fits right there, which is pretty fantastic. And if you need more space, all you do, push that, drop that down, push this, drop that down, and I could lay back there. And I'm 6'2". Really tremendous amount of space. Very useful, very bright lights. The 2021, 2022 version had one little light and it was useless. There's a 12 volt back here. So if your passengers back here need a USB or power, they don't have any outlets up in front, but you can easily get some sort of little piece to put in there so you can plug in to charge up from the back. So you do have power sources back here, and there's spots all over here, also up here for if you want to anchor anything. There's also anchor points here on the other side. So if you want to tie anything down, there's plenty of space to do that, plenty of ways to do that. Under here, storage. Under there, jack, your crowbar. That funnel is if you're going to use like a canister to fill your gas tank. And under this, there's a spare tire. No fix-a-flat, a real spare tire. How exciting is that? And that is the, I'll show you that in a minute. While we're back here, that's the passenger door. Speaker, water bottle maybe, handle, door control, window right there. This is all very, very soft, very squishy. And let's get in. Now, I'm 6'2", 240 pounds, and 30 pounds maybe. And I have the door, the seat in front of me set for me. I'm 6'2", so I don't have it squished forward to make it look like there's more leg room than there really is. But I've got plenty of room, plenty of room. And for headroom, again, 6'2". I mean, lots and lots of room. I'd have to have a giant cowboy hat to have a problem. All right, so that's about, oh, there are lights up here as well. Not touch sensitive. I thought they are touch sensitive. That's nice. So they turn on and turn off right there. Very nice. Almost forgot what we, back in the day, would have called a map pocket. So what you used to do is put your map back here before there was GPS. Not what I expected to see while doing a little video here. This is the 2021 version of the Honda HR-V. Let's look at the driver's side door. You've got a speaker down there on the right. All the controls you would expect for your side mirror and your windows and such. The handle here is like a nickel smooth, very, very smooth finish. It just feels, it feels very expensive for a little handle. And you got a little pocket down here. This little water bottle or a bottle holder here, the detail that they put into this little teeny thing is crazy. So it's more like a holster in that it's held at an angle. So when you're sitting down in the car, it's really close to your legs. So you just kind of lift it up and pull it right out, and it's super easy. Had this been straight up vertical like I've seen before, it would be like just a hassle to take this out and put this in. Really, really thoughtful. Also, something else I thought was thoughtful is this little handle here. I'll throw some change in. You know, you're going through a drive-through, they hand you coins. What are you going to do with them? You throw them in here, of course. Well, this is now sculpted so that you can just slide things out really easily. I know it's a silly little detail, but really well done. Another detail that I love is right here. Now, I'm a 6'2" guy with size 12 feet, not to brag, but my 2021 HR-V, this little section here for your footrest was like this big. I just could not get comfortable. And this, I can put my whole foot there. It sounds like a small detail, but this helps immeasurably in terms of like lessening my fatigue and increasing my comfort. Really, really great. This is where you will pop the hood, but I thought that was amazing. Pretty typical pedals there. Manual controls for your seats here. This is through the LX and the Sport model. To get electric controls there, you'd have to go to the highest package. Some people like to hear the thud of the door. Nice and substantial. So here's the steering wheel. The steering wheel itself, it feels kind of cheap. It's really the only thing about the car that feels cheap. It's got this sort of finish that almost feels like the surface of Crocs or something. I mean, it has a little bit of a give. It's easy to grip, but it's also easy to let go of and let the wheel spin and turn as sometimes you do. So I might put a covering on here just for comfort, and I think this might get hot in Vegas. But there's little notches cut out here for your thumb, so you really have good control over the steering wheel. On the left-hand side of the wheel, you've got your home button, where you can choose to access all of your information there to change different settings. There's a scroll wheel here, which is also a push button to select the things that you're looking at. You've got your media controls up here. So for track back and forth, volume up and down. You have a voice button, so you can use voice control. Over here, you have all of the buttons for your safety suite, and I'll tell you about those shortly. Of course, your control for your windshield wipers, front and rear, and then you've got your lights over here. I keep mine on auto because I'm lazy, and I just like the fact that I don't have to turn them on or off. In low light, they turn on. About dusk, they turn on. And if you don't have a vehicle in front of you on the highway, for example, they go automatically to high beams, so you actually see better. And like I mentioned earlier, LED lights, which is really quite nice. But if you come upon a vehicle in front of you, the lights will dim down to regular headlights. So really, just really great little details. And that's also obviously your blinker if you're from places where you actually use one. Here in Las Vegas, it's an endangered feature. But So what else? All right, so from the point of view of the driver, in terms of comfort, this is super squishy and soft. It's very comfortable. It's also wide enough where I can put my arm up here. I'm a tall guy, so it's easy to do this. If I had the window open, it would make having my arm hang out here super comfortable. There is a very nicely padded armrest right here. Super handy, and this door handle slot, it's just comfortable. I don't even know how to tell you, but it's just comfortable. This is also padded so that when my knee hits this, it's just super comfortable. This is hard, but who needs that to be soft? I don't know. Also soft touch here for some reason. I mean, I don't know who's going to be touching this right over the air vent, but you've got an air vent there, of course. That little honeycomb pattern that is echoed from the grille of the car. And let's see, over here, we've got a very long bar of that same texture up here. In terms of comfort, we've got two cup holders, two big cup holders. My melted iced coffee is right here. You've got a USB Type A outlet right here if you want to use the Android Auto or whatever the iPhone version of that is. I'm a Samsung person myself. You have to connect on the LX and the Sport model. You have to connect with a USB cord to access that, and I'll show you what that looks like and what that does in a minute. But it also just powers your phone slowly. Very slowly. That would take about 4 hours to charge my Samsung S23 Ultra. It'd take about 4 hours to charge there. But thankfully, right underneath the shifter, the gear shift here, which has a button on this side, so you can you don't accidentally change anything. So you hit that button and then bring it back and forth. It does have a sport and a low setting just in case. I'm not that person who uses it. There's your drive mode is right here. If you wanted to change it from snow to eco to normal, you just toggle that right there. Parking brake, and there's hill assist. Starting hill assist is right here, your parking brake. The brake hold, if you're in a drive-through, for example, or in traffic and you don't want to accelerate, brake, accelerate, brake, accelerate, brake, this will help you. It takes care of that for you. You don't have to do anything. You just sit there. Super nice. This is all soft touch, including this little section here, which is what this knee rests against. It's actually quite a protuberance. There's a word. It actually kind of bumps out a little more than I would like, because it just kind of hits my knee quite quickly. But it is padded nicely, so it's not too uncomfortable. And I've gotten used to it over the past like 5 or 6 days I've had the car. There is a spot right here where you can place your phone. This is, while it's charging, this is a wireless charger on the highest package. In the Sport and the LX, it's just storage. On the highest package, it's most expensive package, it's a Qi wireless charger. Other power ports you've got here is a Type C power connector on this side, the driver's side. This is a pass-through. This is like an empty space with a little rubber mat on the bottom. So more storage if you want to charge your phone down there, put whatever you want, sunglasses, stuff right down there. There's also another port just like this, identical, on the passenger side, which is great. Now, this is a feature, I don't know if they did this on purpose, and I'm going to be a little bit of a romantic right here. This is all my crap. I'll tell you about that in a moment. But this, I just spit all over the place. This area right here is curved. It's nice and aesthetic, but I'll tell you, if you're driving and you have your left hand on the steering wheel and you just have your right hand hanging out down here. That's how I drive on long trips. My left hand, my right hand, I'm just kind of hanging out here, controlling the media, things like that. But this little curved area almost feels, you know, when you have your girlfriend or boyfriend in a car and you have your hand on their knee as you're driving? Do you remember when you do that? It's been a long time for me, but you put your hand right here as your elbow is resting on this thickly padded storage spot. I'll show you. It just feels very natural. I don't know. It just feels like you're I don't know. It's just very, very comfortable. It feels very ergonomic and it feels very human. It's built for a human being, not just the design eye. So I really appreciate things like this. I have this little thing here I got at Goodwill. It holds my Taco Bell sauces. Very important. And it holds my sunglasses. So I just threw this in here. Other speaker, of course. There's my AutoNation bag with my tags in there. I'm waiting for their paperwork to show up. My shirt. The fabric on the seats is super comfortable. The seat itself, very firm, not too squishy, which is nice. You squish too much into a seat, it's just not going to be comfortable for long roads. The seats are very supportive. What else can I show you? Oh, okay, up here, of course, you've got your mirror. That happens, of course. The lights are very, very bright. You've got two of them, obviously. These come on as I have them set. I have them come on when the car is started and when I've turned it off. These lights turn on for maybe a minute, minute and a half, just enough to give you time to gather your stuff and get out of the car. You're not going to be like in total darkness, you know. The mirror, of course, and behind the mirror is your safety suite. That's where the cameras are that check for speed limit signs. The car will actually tell you what speed limit you should be at, and you can change that. You can have it say, well, I don't want you to tell me until I'm 10 miles over the speed limit. You can change all those things. The whole safety suite is up there. The vanity mirror, the Sport has a light. The LX does not have a light. Oh, hello, how are you? Yeah, so that's that. Glove box. I forgot to show you the glove box. There you go. Normal glove box, but what they give you inside this little pouch is the key to unlock the rims on your tires, because apparently it's a thing. I didn't know this, but I guess people steal rims off your cars. Maybe I'm naive, but there's actually a lock inside this little pouch. So if you have to change your tire or use the spare, you can unlock your rims. Here is the entertainment and information center up here. There are knobs to use, but you also have touch controls, phone, radio, media, which is what I'll be showing you in a moment, and then connect, which I'll show you as well in a sec. But the audio system. Up against the sky. This is some Liz Wright, which I really like. Really, really nice. Quite a nice sound system. Media, that's what I'm using right now. Radio, I listen to NPR.
Do the numbers.
There we go, Kai. And then connect. If you hit it and you don't have the most expensive package, it says no device connected. Please connect your smartphone to USB. All right, I will do that. Hold on one sec. So I've plugged my phone into the USB type A, which is right down behind my coffee cup. And so now I can click on connect and it goes and pulls up. See, it's flickering because of these different kinds of screen, but it pulls up my GPS. So I can actually use my phone's GPS, which is effortless and something I'm very familiar with, right up on this screen right here. So I don't have to look down at my phone. I can look up at the screen here. It's much, much safer and easier to use. Something I almost forgot to show you. The rear view camera. You have 3 different options. First off, there is immediately below you, the one that I typically use right there, and then this one, which is kind of like, I guess, widescreen. I'm not quite sure, but you've got those 3 options. And when you do back up, those guidance line, the trajectory line, they change. They turn with you as you move, which for me is super handy because the space between my building and the building next to me is small. So those trajectory lines that move really allow me to know exactly how close to the building behind me I can get before I'm gonna like crash into someone else's garage. So they're useful. I almost forgot to talk about the environmental controls. Oh my goodness. All right, so temperature. If I want the air running, I'll just push this button on off. That's actually controlling the fan. And you can control how strong or weak that fan's going to run right there. The temperature right over here You can just turn that to what you would like, and then you can see the temperature right now is set at 68 degrees. That's also up on the display on top of the dashboard. If I hit the button again, it'll show auto, so it will just keep the car at 68 degrees. There's only one zone. The same with the Sport. The highest trim package has 2 zones. The car is so small, I can't imagine needing 2 different zones to keep whatever. But and then you've got your mode for where you want the air to show up. So super easy to use, pretty intuitive, and I love that auto feature. Now let's turn the car on. You heard how loud that was. It actually isn't very loud at all. And let's take a little drive so you can sort of see how it behaves. And there's a very nice view of Las Vegas. I'm gonna put this in drive. The main complaint I hear online is that it has, oh, I didn't show you the engine. What an idiot. I didn't show you the engine. So you have to pull this lever here, come up to the front, put your hand in here, and then curl your fingers down, and you're gonna feel the lever right here. And right here, that long bar is the bar you use to prop up the hood. Et voila, there's the engine. It is a 158 horsepower, 2-liter CVT transmission, which means it's not a speed demon, but I'll tell you, if you're that guy who has to hit the next red light before everybody else, well, this isn't your car. But I love driving this car. But you've got your windshield wiper fluid over here, your coolant over here, the engine, I think. There's your oil over here. The battery, it's a good sized battery, I guess. Yeah, so if you know what you're looking at, there you are. I don't know anything about this, which is why I have a service plan. So I found the sticker, which has some numbers and features that I haven't told you about yet. So I told you about the engine, I think. 158 horsepower, 2-liter, 4-cylinder CVT transmission, which is probably why it's not a speed demon, but neither am I. So we'll take a quick drive and I'll see if I can show you something about how the car handles. I don't think you can really, on a phone or a tablet or laptop, however you're watching this, that you can get a really good idea of how the car drives until you're in one, but it might help you out, especially to see the turning radius. That was one of my favorite things. This thing turns on a dime. Nimble is the word I would use. So the Honda sensing features, this is all built into the base model, by the way, the base model. This is not the whatever. I was very excited that all of this was included in the base model. So Honda sensing has the adaptive cruise control, which allows me to use cruise control, but if I'm coming up on a vehicle that's moving slower than I am, it'll slow me down to keep me in proximity of that car, and if that car moves, it'll just let me go back to that set cruise control speed. Collision mitigating braking system. So if I'm gonna come up, if I'm gonna hit something, the car's gonna warn me first, hey, watch out, and if I don't take any action, it's gonna brake for me. Wow, look at that color. Squirrel, look at that color. That car is crazy. It's like a dart frog green. Back to me. Yeah, I think that's cool on a base model. Lane keeping assist system. I'm not sure if I'm so keen on this one. If you go out of your lane, the camera up behind your rearview mirror knows, oh, the car's not staying with its lane. So it nudges, it literally nudges the steering wheel, which I find kind of creepy. I'm a good driver. The lines in Vegas, the lanes in Vegas are not always well defined because the roads are melting. So I'm going to turn that off because I don't need it. And it was just very creepy. It's happened twice now that the steering wheel went, whoa, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? So I don't like that. Road departure mitigation. And then traffic jam assist. So if I'm in traffic, I can just like take my foot off the accelerator, because the car will move forward with traffic and then stop, brake when the traffic stops. So I don't have to be like back and forth with the accelerator and the brake and back and forth, back and forth. The car takes care of that for me. If I'm in a drive-through line, apparently it does the same thing. So I'm going to try that out. I'm very excited about it. And one feature that's not in the safety suite, but I was not expecting on a base model, windshield wipers. When's the last time you got excited about windshield wipers, right? And maybe I'm old school. When you use your windshield wiper solution, you pull back on that handle and it would squirt up, sometimes over your car, and the windshield wipers would take care of that, right? Now, the windshield solution comes out of the wiper. I think that's silly and great and cool. And for a base model, it's a feature and a detail I was not expecting. I thought that would be on the much more expensive trim package than mine. So let's take a little bit of a drive. I'm in a Walmart parking lot right now because I had to stop and get cat food. But let's take a little drive. And I think what I'll really do is want to show you the turning radius and how easy and how nimble this car is. I don't think I can really accurately show you how the suspension works because my camera is going to take care of any shaking automatically. So I just want to show you how nimble this car is. So let's throw it into some drive and get out of the shadow of this this giant vehicle, and let's go. It's very nimble, and I'm going to take a bit of a turn. I mean, it's crazy. I should do that again too. All right, so I mean, really quite nimble. Really, really, really smooth. Wasn't that fun? This person right there in front of me is thinking, oh, he's a crazy man. Get away from him. So I almost got all the way home without telling you how much their car costs. So I'm going to use my cheat sheet again. For the 2024 Honda HR-V, this is the two-wheel drive, by the way. If you need a four-wheel drive, you need to go with the Sport or the trim level above that. I don't know what it's called. I'm never going to need it. I'm not going to buy it. But the MSRP for the LX version is $24,100. The paint color, $455. This is called the Platinum White Pearl, by the way. And then $1,325 for destination and handling, for a total of $25,880. Now, the Sport version, after handling and all that stuff, is about $30,000. It's about $5,000 more. What do you get for that difference? Heated seats, automatic start from a distance, so remote start, which is nice, and four-wheel drive. Those are the big deals, and high gloss details, which I don't care about. Now, I'm fine saving $5,000 to not have those things. I don't mind pushing a button to get in my car. I used to have to use a key. So I'm fine with the base model. But if I lived in New Hampshire or Boston or somewhere like Maine or anywhere where there's snow or heavy fog, I might suggest the Sport model because it's got fog lights, heated seats, remote start, and four-wheel drive. So those might be features that you would really appreciate in like Boston or New Hampshire or wherever. But I'm never going to live in places like that ever again because they have snow. And I'm quite happy here in Las Vegas. But if you're used to a two-wheel drive wherever you live, I would be very content with the base model, the LX. The Sport model, for $5,000 or more, there are some places that have these little add-ons that brought, one guy showed me, it was like $32,000 for the Sport model. No thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I would be very, very happy with the LX. Sport, I would never go up to the ELX, LEX, whatever it's called. The only thing you're getting there is wireless functioning. I mean, different seat material like leather. This contrasting, did I ever talk about this? The contrasting stitching, I'm not a fan. It just looks like it's a gamer's computer chair, you know, with all that not into it. But I think that's it for this video. I'm sorry it's so long, but I hope it's been informative. And if you're a subscriber of mine, I'll see you in the next video. All right, fly safe, have a great time. Bye-bye.